All right, good evening, everyone. It is now 7 o'clock. I would like to call to order the August meeting for the Prince Edward County Board of Supervisors. Thank you all for being here. At this time, I will invite Supervisor Emmert, if he is willing, to lead us in our invocation, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you for the reminder.
Welcome to the Prince Edward County Conference Line. Please stand by. You'll be joined in shortly.
All right, Supervisor Emmert.
Sure. Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you just for the opportunity to be here, for your many blessings. Lord, knowing that we are not all wise, but that you are. God, that so many times that we make mistakes, but God, we're asking for your wisdom and your blessings to be here with us this evening.
Yes.
Each and every decision we make, not just on our own, but because of you. Ask that you would be with each and every one that is here and those that could not be. We ask that you would give safety on those as they travel to and from this meeting. Ask you to keep each and every one of us, and we'll thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Let us pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. At this time, do we have any board members with a conflict of interest to disclose? Seeing none, we will move along to recognitions.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The Employee of the Month for August is Sergeant Jason Jenkins. Sergeant Jenkins is always ready to step up, especially when staffing is short. He keeps Prince Edward County safe while treating everyone with such respect that even the people he has ticketed have complimented him in court.
That's good.
For going above and beyond with professionalism, dependability, and an unmatched commitment to service, we are excited to recognize Sergeant Jenkins as Prince Edward County's Employee of the Month. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Bob.
Very good. At this time, we have come to public participation. We have our list here of individuals, citizens who have signed up to speak. Everyone will have 2 minutes to share. First on our list this evening is Michelle Schumacher.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Michelle Schumacher, resident of District 201 in Prince Edward County, and I'm here to voice my opposition to the HIP Park. I want to speak about transparency. We have been repeatedly told the zoning changes occurred in July of 2020. Let's do a quick timeline. March 10th, 2020, Board of Supervisors approves a transfer of $1.9 million to the IDA. Several citizens objected to this transfer. I was one of them. At the meeting, the then Chairman Townsend stated, the IDA has conducted extensive studies for the project. Supervisor Bobby Jones stated, it's a shame we cannot divulge info on it right now. March 12th, 2020, state of emergency declared by Governor Northam. March 30th, 2020, stay-at-home ordered by Governor Northam. The IDA purchased the property and requested a zoning change, which was granted in July 2020. Rather than require the zoning to be a conditional use zoning, it was done by right. Why? This approval was done at the height of the COVID pandemic when citizens of Prince Edward County were concerned about staying alive and were told to stay home. They trusted their elected officials to protect the county's rural nature, yet the board did the exact opposite. The board knew in March 2020 that the property was going to, in fact, be a data center. In fact, the IDA, in its June 2020 minutes, only referred to a zoning change and did not mention the term data center or by right. Why? You also, in your Q&A, state that the HIP Park, no member of the Board of Supervisors, the Planning Commission, or the IDA has any financial benefit from this project. Yet, Mr. Rhett Weiss, a member of both the Farmville Planning Commission, he left off of there in June of this year, and the Prince Edward County Planning Commission, is also the president, CEO, and shareholder of Deal Tech Limited, the consultant who is marketing this project and who is receiving monies each month for doing so. I have looked at it, and it looks like it's about $8,000 a month. To me, that's a financial benefit. As the board knows, appearances are everything. It appears that the board has not been transparent. We, the public, have learned more about data centers and their downsides than the board will even acknowledge. So I ask each board member here today, tell us, are you for or against the Prince Edward County Data Center? Not all of you were here when it was voted in. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next on the list is Greg Phipps.
How y'all doing? I'm Greg Phipps. I live in the Lockett District. I live on 673 Persimmon Tree Fork Road, about half mile from where the data center is going. But I'm here tonight to urge the board to listen to the people who represent you and halt this proposed data center development at the HIP Park. Prince Edward County has a heavy historical burden. Decades ago, this county learned a painful lesson on what happens when the Board of Supervisors isolates itself from the voting population and ignores public interest and pushes forward with top-down mandates. History judges those decisions harshly. Today, by utilizing the by right zoning technicalities to bypass the active public hearings and push this data center forward, you are dangerously close to repeating that cycle of isolating your voters. When you ignore our voices, you choose the interest of outside tech corporations over the people who live, work, and pay taxes here. The numbers simply don't add up. This project promises only 30 permanent jobs, yet it threatens to drain between 1.2 and 5.5 million gallons of water every day from our precious aquifers in the Sandy River Reservoir. That's an irreversible extraction of our county's resources. Beyond the water crisis, our community faces 24/7 industrial noise, massive strain on the energy grid, and a permanent reduction in our quality of life. We, the voters, will be left to foot the bill for expanding utility infrastructures while dealing with the fallout. Across Virginia, courts are nullifying rush data center approvals, and communities are forcing recalls and moratoriums on the boards that refuse to listen. Don't let Prince Edward join that list. We ask you tonight to prioritize your constituents over the data centers. Pause this project, open up a fully transparent public review, and respect the will of the people that voted for you. Thank you.
Next, Rick Ewing.
Let me speak from here. Y'all, everything's all right?
Yes.
Thank you.
All due respect to the other folks who are talking about data centers, I'm here to give you a brief update on my favorite data center, the public library. That was supposed to be fun. A while ago, I requested a little bit of extra money from y'all to hire someone to help with programming and outreach for children and teens. You and actually the town of Farmville came forward with that money. And because of that, we have hired Candace Townsend to be our teen and school-age specialist at the library, and we're looking forward to serving that group much better. Thank you. A little bit of update on the summer reading program. We had 156 kids work with the library in their reading, and they read hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books, and some of them won prizes, and it was altogether a very successful program. And lastly, I just want to say thank you to the folks in Prince Edward County who helped us out with getting rid of some chairs. And that sounds maybe like a small thing, but it was a big thing for us. We got some state money that was very restricted, but we could spend it on furniture. Furniture 16 years old in a public area, you can imagine that's a little bit of wear. We replaced a bunch of chairs, and I emailed Mr. Stanley, and he graciously arranged for the disposal of those chairs, and I just want to say thank you for that, and thank you for all your support.
Thank you, sir.
Rick.
Thank you.
Next, the board welcomes Kelly Leslie.
Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. Speaking at something like this is not my thing, but I felt you needed to put a face with a name since I've been sitting in the back the past few months. I am Kelly Southall Leslie. I am the Kelly of Kelly Lane. The property at Kelly Lane, as well as Southall Farm beyond it, will be my inheritance. My grandfather purchased this property in the 60s, and he and my father raised Angus beef cattle on the land. My family is all born and raised Prince Edward County citizens. This same grandfather, Walter D. Southall, served on this very Prince Edward County Board of Supervisors for years, and I could tell you that he would be appalled at the idea of a data center in Prince Edward, not to mention 5 data centers so close to so much farmland and homes. Of course, he was for development in the county. I know that, but he also stood for agriculture, clean water and air, and for what's best for the people and children of Prince Edward. I would like to ask you to research this project more than ever and listen to those who are bringing research to you. I am the someone who will be the closest to all the potential effects of this data center. The water, the noise, the drop in property value, the list goes on. And you see, it's not just me and my husband, but we have 2 children, ages 1 and 4. I can't ever imagine raising them next door to 5 data centers. I'm speaking up for my children and for their childhood, their development, and one day, their inheritance. So I hope you can put a face with a name now. Unfortunately, I won't be able to continue to attend these meetings in person. With the college students returning, I will be back on Longwood campus on Tuesday nights with my job. But please don't think this means that I'm not involved or I don't care. I do care, and my family and I will continue to do everything that we can to protect our future and the future for the next generation. I hope you will too.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, the board welcomes Jan Tackett.
My name is Jan Tackett, and I live in the Farmville 101 district. I want to clarify my position. I was here last month, and I want to clarify something. Leave no question. I fully support any project that benefits our schools, our communities, unless those same projects harm our children, our people, and our environment. And I will say to this board, I thank you for everything that you all have done for the Prince Edward schools. I know just in the last few years that Harvey and I have been here, we've really seen a lot of transition, and we really appreciate your support. That's not what this is about. I'm speaking up and asking to give me some research data. Well, with all that said, I just want to say a few words about some noise. Data centers are going to make all kinds of noise depending on where you are. There's a lot of variables, the coolers, the backup generators. We don't know the vendors. We don't know what it's going to sound like. What we do know is that people are stepping up in communities that have these centers, and they are saying enough, because it is inescapable. It's pensive, it's intrusive. Those diesel and gas generators, those coolers, it is nonstop. This young lady just mentioned that her 2 children are going to be growing up close to that. I want to share something with you that is, I don't know where this is, because again, it's like a law of the unknowns, but I want to share something with you that is midnight, somewhere at a data center. And ma'am, I sure hope it's not what your children have to listen to. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, the board welcomes Ed Scott.
Good evening, folks. Ed Scott, Farmville Road, Farmville. As a former town official myself, I understand that I have a responsibility, an imperative responsibility, to look out for the welfare of every citizen, every taxpayer. If we move forward with these projects, we're exposing the town and the county to unfunded and endless potential liability, both from the initial infrastructure project and the millions it's going to cost to put water and sewer in there, plus the hidden cost on the electric bills that each of the citizens will have, because Dominion can bill us for their cost of doing business, essentially, putting in the transmission lines in. And what happens when a VIO packs up and leaves? When technology catches up to the data center and it becomes obsolete? And do we have the emergency response teams here if there's a tragic fire there? The waste that's happening, pollution in the environment, both air, water, noise, light, and then what kind of data centers are going to be? We don't know. Is it AI? Is it information gathering on each of the private citizens here? As a responsible board, both the Board of Supervisors and the Industrial Development Board, you need to look out for the citizens' well-being, their futures, and the future of Prince Edward County for the future. And if we don't do that, then how are you going to look at yourselves in the mirror, especially when it goes south? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, Allison Cruz.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for your time. I'm Allison Cruz, and we are humans. We have families, we have children, we have communities. I want to kindly remind you and all of us, the men moved through the Farmville Detention Center are humans. They're more than numbers. Many have wives and children who are suffering, along with the ones that are held there. They are more than dollars into the county coffers. I also invite us all to compassionately educate ourselves with facts. I'm a big fan of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, even if we don't want to hear it. The statistics ICE shares even show that most men here are not criminals. They are contributing members of our society whose families miss them. And in the spirit of learning, I was recently made aware that Warden Crawford is relocating, and that was quite a surprise. My understanding is that Assistant Warden Jackson, also a part of Jeff's All People's Church in Lynchburg, is now the new warden. So I look forward to hearing any of this from official sources for accountability and transparency. I also want to invite y'all and the entire community August 20th here in Farmville from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Farmville Library. with a prayer ahead of that at Funkadelic down towards the detention center for all the souls there. But we will be having, it's the Virginia Interfaith Center for Public Policy, and they're on their Interfaith Justice Meet and Greet Roadshow. So everybody is welcome to come have conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, Joan Vieira.
No, it was a mistake signing.
I'm sorry?
I thought I was signing into this meeting.
Oh, welcome. We're glad you're here. Cassie Cox? Okay, no problem.
That's all right.
Grantley Benton.
I'm Christy Miller. I'm going to be next on the list. This is my husband, it's Grant. Could I speak for both of us real quick? I'm kind of in the same situation that they were, that I thought I was just signing up for the meeting, but my husband and I are new to the area. We've been here for about a year, and we're looking at building a home here. So we feel like we are going to be bringing in property taxes and things like that into the community, and we're having a difficult time knowing that a data center is going to be built about 1.5 miles from us now. So we are having second thoughts on building a home here, where, you know, possibly selling the property, because I don't believe I would like to live that close to one. And in our jobs, we are continuously going to these data centers. We've seen quite a few in the state, and the job aspect of it, I have seen firsthand that even in the building of these data centers, these people are not from Virginia. I mean, they are from Maryland, from California, from Utah. Even the building of it is not going to bring in jobs for the local economy. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
I'd like to ask for 30 seconds. I would like for you guys to answer the question is who supports the data center?
Yes,
Who doesn't?
yes, please. Yes, please.
And that's what I figured, nothing, silence. Thank you.
Next on our list, Jenny McIntosh.
Hello, so good to see you, and I'm sure you're happy to see me again. I'm excited that we get to have an opportunity. I'm like Kelly. This is my last Tuesday night for this meeting because I'll be back on campus on Tuesday nights. But I would like to say to you that this is the worst thing that you could bring to Farmville, Virginia. I've talked to some of you in person. Thank you for taking my calls. Thank you for being with me. And I have done investigation. I have spent hours upon hours. I have talked to professionals. I've talked to people that live near these data centers. And the consistent comments are, whatever you do, fight it. Because once they come, they keep taking and they don't stop. It doesn't get better. And their promises fail over and over again. I think all of you are educated. I think all of you have sound minds. I'm asking you to stop this. It's a good leader that looks at what's happening and the changes that are coming and reevaluates the situation. It's time to course correct. I have situations, I'm going to read these off. These are things that would be minimally put into place before you could even ask Aveo to come in. Right now, you are like, well, you consistently say, we don't know. I was consistently told, we have been bringing this and we voted on this 6 years ago. Why did you come just recently? Because we are here now and it is out that these are not healthy. They're not healthy for your grandchildren. They're not healthy for my grandchildren. And if they're not healthy for the calves, they're not healthy for the bees, and they're not healthy for the birds and the deer and the soil. When you go to these places that have had in the last year and a half, the ramifications that happen to these small rural communities is astounding and sad. And I'm saying you can be the heroes. You can be the ones to say no more. But I'm going to ask that you put into place endangered species protection, mandate comprehensive ecological impact assessments before anything goes forward, water additives, forever chemicals. What are you going to put in place so that these substances in these cooling systems cannot go into our wastewater? Enforce strict thresholds for discharge, chemical discharge, public disclosure on everything. Hazardous material storage, routine environmental testing, enforce mandatory monthly independent testing of local soil, air, and water. Publish all unedited testing results to a public registry within 48 hours of every test. DBC regulation, inaudible noise, establish strict regulatory limits on low frequency decibels and infrasound emissions, sounds that you and I cannot hear, but the land hears. The unborn baby hears, the unborn calf hears.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Next, the board welcomes Joshua Bird.
Good evening. I'm new to the area. I guess this year makes me a state citizen of Virginia by law. I'm originally from Texas, from a very small town. For work, I work in the forklift industry, and I travel factory to factory, warehouse to warehouse. And a lot of the places that I go into on a regular basis, I have to sign NDAs because I can't speak about process, manufacturing, things like that. And so data centers aren't new to me. One of the big things is you can test for sound, but you're not testing for megahertz, for hertz, frequency, vibration, these things like this. And as part of your investigation, I would ask that you test for these things. There's not a lot on the website, and I get the I don't knows, right? You're in the early stages, no architectural, there's nothing zoned out, so I understand that. But you will kill bees. You will, the water that goes into these machines, it's like a microwave. It comes out and it's not water anymore. So, and the big thing is if you really take a deep dive into this, they don't need water to cool them. They just don't want to use the better way to do it because it's more expensive. And the ask is that you force their hand. If you're going to go through with it, I disagree. I don't think you should. But if you're going to, we can't make water, you guys. You can't take hydrogen and oxygen and make water. You can't do it. It's a scientific fact. And so if you deplete it, you create a big problem. If you don't have bees, you don't have food. This is a rural community. And I get the want for growth. I get there's a college here. I get all these things. I completely understand it. But don't destroy what you have. Like, please. I don't know that I'll live here forever. Some of you are, your name, sir, I see it everywhere. So I know you've been here for your family's been here forever. Don't destroy what you have. Like, don't do that. Like, please, consider the environmental consequences of what you're doing. That is the big thing. And I don't think that anybody here, I don't mean to go over time. I'll be quick with this last thing I'm going to say, I promise. I've looked into the history over the past few weeks, and there's been things that happen, mistakes have been made, and nobody here is going to fault you if you back out of the deal and take a loss for a better thing. But let's not chase money. Let's not do that. Let's rethink it. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, guys.
Next, Ann Yolen.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Ann Yolen. I live on High Street in Farmville. I'm here to express my opposition to the proposed data center in Prince Edward County. As a resident of the town of Farmville in the county, my opposition mostly stems from the following concerns: the placement of the proposed data center and the proximity to existing neighborhoods, the potential for increased noise and air pollution, which could negatively impact the health and quality of life of the citizens, especially those living near the site, the potential to stifle development within the town of Farmville and decrease house values, and the unknown long-term consequences for our citizens, the town and county's resources, and the environment. Tonight, my plea is for you to put the brakes on the data center and explore other opportunities for developing the land. I urge you to consider opportunities that could bring more jobs to the area while avoiding the negative outcomes associated with data centers. Finally, I hope you listen to the concerns of the citizens with an open mind and heart. I've heard the argument that if you use your phone or AI, that your opposition to this data center project just doesn't hold up. I'm not opposed to technology, and as a college professor, I have to keep up with new technology in my field and teach my students about the ethical and responsible use of it. I believe that citizens can embrace technology and at the same time ask questions and raise legitimate concerns about whether this data center project is the right choice for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, the board welcomes Mr. David Tillepaugh.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Everybody
evening.
get my letter?
Got it?
Did you read it?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. That was your pre-read. I guess you know where I stand. What I'm concerned about now, more than even the data center, is the alignment between the citizens of this county and all of you. And it seems to me that we have some gaps, and I don't know why. Do we need another meeting to talk this thing through? Because we've spent a lot of time and energy on persuasion, which doesn't seem to be getting us really anywhere. The citizens of this county feel very strongly about the risk and the unproven benefits of this project. You all haven't furnished any empirical update about any of the benefits. So we are in the dark about what you're even chasing. Like several of the other speakers have said already, there are options. There's no emergency. We don't have to develop this site in the next 6 months if prudence intervenes. You all have set yourselves up in opposition to the citizens of the county. That's not unprecedented, but it is happening in the Commonwealth and elsewhere. And it's not a good position to be in. It's not good for you, and it's not good for us. So I would advise you and urge you to take a good look at this process and ask yourselves if you think this is ideal. Given all the things that are happening in the macro world, all the lessons learned that we are continuing to learn from Loudoun County and other neighbors, do you really believe that this is the right approach for this little community to build a data center a mile away from the population center? And if you really do believe that, then tell us you do. And give us some reasons, because we've given you dozens of them why we have legitimate concerns. And they're not theories anymore. They're proof points. So how is it that you all know something we don't, and you're going to overcome all the learning and all the experience that's happening all around us? And you're going to endanger our community now. That's
you,
my
sir.
question. So maybe you all can address some of that during your comment period, so we can actually have a meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
All right, that concludes public participation for this evening. At this time, we will move on to Board of Supervisor comments. Supervisor Emmert.
I'd like to say thank you, each and every one, for being here this evening. Thank you for voicing your beliefs, your theories, your opinions, your sought-out data. I will address one thing to Mr. Tillepaugh that he asked about. I have talked to several people in other neighboring counties, especially Mecklenburg. Of all the people that I talked to, there only one person had opposition to this. Not saying that there are not others that do. I have a pretty wide swath of people that I deal with pretty much every day, especially every week, from cattle farmers all the way to people who own industrial places. No one there, with the exception of one person, has had a problem with it. Not saying that they're all perfect, not saying that they're all great, don't know enough about them, be the first to admit, just don't know enough about them. But the neighboring county that has them doesn't have a problem with them. That's my 2 cents at this particular point. Jerry?
Thanks for being here. Certainly, again, as last month, your voice is passionate, and that's important, that you believe in what you voice. Personally, I'm gonna tour the data center myself. I want to speak from experience, just like I did with solar. Go to it and see for yourself and continue to research. But I hear you, you're loud and clear, and your voice is very important, and thanks for being here to voice.
Good evening. I too have intentions of visiting the data center myself. I have heard of no negativity from the local surrounding counties. I am very much interested in the research and what it does or does not do. I have no problem with admitting in the very beginning, I have supported the data center, no question about it, but I'm willing to take the ride to several locations, day or night, to try to listen, to see, and to read all the research that you have provided to us. No problem whatsoever with taking a good look at it. Thank you, sir, and madams.
Yeah, thank you. I think a couple of months I said, if all of you all had friends and family in Mecklenburg and were dying to have this come, we could not bring it to you for a long, long time. And so there's plenty of time to put the brakes on it too. None of us, not one of us, wants to bring you something that you think will ruin your community. I've visited one data center so far. We'll visit several others. Our expenses are growing faster than our revenues. Our population studies done by the state and local governments look poor for our community. We need new schools desperately. That's just a fact. We need to pay for the one we're doing. But, you know, without rail, without interstate highways, we're fighting over 30-person job providers. You know, we're not landing much. I saw somebody said that maybe have a raceway where the thing is, you want some noise, go ahead and get yourself a raceway. You know, we're not gonna purposefully give you something that we think is gonna harm you. You know, so we got a lot of time to sharpen our arguments. It's, nothing will happen anytime soon. I don't think there's gonna be a single vote on Chairman Harrison's agenda, and I'm supposed to be the chair next year, probably not on mine either. You know, so this is, you know, right now, if we wanted to do it, we would be beholden to Dominion, who is moving at a snail's pace to say yes or no that they could provide the power. If they say no, it's over. I don't think we're going to get a yes or a no for a long time. And, you know, it's not that we can just choose what goes there. We have to have people wanting to put up risk capital. And for the estimated 30 to 40% of our county budget, we would be doing a serious disservice for not getting at least this far without doubling your real estate tax in 6, 7, 8 years. That's what will have to happen if we don't get some meaningful increases in revenue in other sources.
Thank y'all for being here. Remember tomorrow morning, school starts in a lot of areas. Be careful where you're going, especially on the Old Ridge Road. Increased traffic going through there, so be careful for the children tomorrow. and the grown folks that drive and meet the school buses.
Good evening, everybody. We appreciate your attendance. We appreciate your comments. I definitely appreciate the research you've done because a data center is a serious thing. You know, as I look on television, it's not just in Prince Edward County, it's discussed. As the other supervisors have said, we're going to be visiting other data centers, and it's not a decision that's going to be made quickly, immediately. It's going to require in-depth research, and then a decision will be made. Thanks for your attendance.
I'm glad to see everyone tonight and all of the comments that the board has already made. We're doing our homework. We don't make rash decisions. We discuss it, try to come up with good answers. David's comment, I know a world of people down in that area. I've only found 2 negative comments about it. They didn't disagree with it, but the 2 negative things, well, they're putting up some more power lines, but, you know, that doesn't bother me. You know, upgrading our electric system is a good thing because everybody needs electricity. The other thing, well, you know, land values have gone up since they came here. And, you know, I'm not so sure what they're buying and selling, but whether that's people that are moving in, that are getting jobs, that are paying more for the property they're buying or to build their home on. But that's the only 2 comments, and I have talked to numbers of people. But I assure you that we don't make rash decisions. We study them. And I've thought about it. What if it was an Amazon distribution center? How would you all feel about that?
That'd be fine.
That's good.
Go look at the one in Amherst.
The question I asked you, they have backup generators.
They also employ more than 30 people.
They do. And they have air conditioning units, multiple refrigeration units.
Most of those warehouses are not air conditioned.
Well,
They don't make noise either. I go to them.
they don't make any noise.
They're not, yeah, they're not.
So forklifts don't make noise?
Oh, please. They're inside of the building. They
They're
don't have
electric,
any outside.
they're electric
operations.
forklifts. Yep.
They don't have outside
Well,
operations.
I'm just saying there are other things, you know, that are possibilities. And,
Maybe instead of arguing the point here, maybe you could put together maybe a 6-person commission of local citizens, people from this audience, who can be funded to go around to a few of the data centers, talk to the locals, talk to the people impacted who own land adjacent to the data centers, and actually get feet on the ground and have them report back, really, you know, impartially as to what we found. I mean, for one, I'm new to the area, and I would be more than happy to be involved in something like that, and I was an IT executive of a Fortune 100 company. So I would love to be involved in something like that. Being new to the area, I moved here because of the area and the wonderful people that are here and the environment here.
Thank you, sir.
And I've opened a small business here.
Thank you,
because
sir.
I believe in the community that much. So it's very important to me to see that we maintain our community standards, our culture, and grow as appropriate, not rush into something that's going to potentially hurt our groundwater, our electric rates, and especially the noise pollution.
Thank you, sir. Supervisor Gillum, do you have further comments this evening?
thank you.
All right, in that case, I again want to echo previous comments. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to research, to come, to speak at public comment. You have busy schedules, and I appreciate your dedication here tonight to preserving this community that we all know and love. My priorities on this board remain as they ever have been: to keep taxes low, to protect our aquifers, to protect our air, to protect our water, to protect our wildlife, to facilitate safe economic development through information-driven decisions. And so that's where I stand on this issue. If a data center is helpful or destructive to either one of those directions, that is the question that must be researched and must be driven through informed decisions. I had the opportunity to go with a number of our colleagues to tour one of the, to meet with the county administrator of Mecklenburg County. We met with him. He drove us around to the various data centers around Boynton. We got to stand right outside the gate of a Microsoft data center. I am scheduled to get to go inside a different kind of data center on Thursday, I believe it is. And so I'm actively trying to learn as much as I can about these various types of data centers and various types of environments, and to gather as much information as possible. So thank you all for being here. At this time, we will move on to our consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the draft minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All right. We have a motion properly seconded. Supervisor Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
And my vote is yes, the motion carries. And at this time, we will address highway matters facilitated tonight through Ms. Sarah Puckett.
I'm not Scott Frederick, but I would be happy to take any road issues and we'll convey those to him. If there are any maintenance or other concerns that we need to pass along to VDOT.
I got a list coming in, man.
Terrific. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sarah, if you would, please have Scott look into Briarwood Drive. I've received concerns from some constituents in that area who are worried about potholes on Briarwood Drive, and I have a contact information for a resident if you need that at any time.
Thank you.
Sarah, also on Whispering Woods Road, potholes, major potholes, and that road hasn't been built a long time, and it shouldn't be in the shape it's in. And I know they have started the grass cutting, but it is so tall on Bloomfield Road. I mean, that it's in serious condition and needs to be addressed. Thank you.
With all the recent rain.
Yes.
It's like the grass
I mean,
is
the deer
just.
coming out and you can't even see them
Yes,
until they're in
ma'am.
front of your car. Though, that road is bad.
Same thing with New Bethel and Mount Pleasant. I mentioned to Scott about the edge of the road, you know, the breakage. They came through with the motor grader, but they just plowed up dirt. I mean, they gonna need some asphalt.
What road was that again?
That's New Bethel and Mount Pleasant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Scott need to maybe ride it, come out and tour it, so I can actually show him what I'm speaking of.
Okay.
But
Would you
they
like
did-
for me to ask him to contact you?
Yeah, but they did come out with the motor grader, so I thank him for that.
Tell them the crew on Singleton done a nice job grinding up the cedar trees and the fence and the wire and,
Is that good?
no, it's
Okay.
fine, it's fine. Wasn't much left of it.
Sarah, the 1300 block of 649, Route 649, potholes are there. And also Toggle Road, that has been brought up a couple of times where it turns, makes the turn off of old 460 right there. It turns back onto it.
Yes, sir.
He had talked about possibly putting up some signs that the traffic is extremely speedy and it's almost a 90-degree turn there. Ask him to check that again if you would, please.
Okay.
Any further comments? All right, thank you very much. This time, County Administrator Stanley.
Next item, item 10, working with the IT consultant, we've computed the Personal Property Tax Relief Act, or PPTRA, percentage of tax relief for the Commonwealth for 2026 to be 25% of assessed value based upon guidelines provided by the Commonwealth. The percentage was set at 25.75 in 2025. You have a draft resolution in your packet, and I would ask that the board take action so that the treasurer can prepare tax bills for this fall.
You shed any light on how that's computed for the?
Yes, well, certainly, I guess it was Governor Gilmore had made the pledge to get rid of the personal property tax, and the General Assembly had allocated a certain amount of money, basically half of what it would cost for each locality. And over time, that number has eroded down to 25% because you're adding value of vehicles. We're actually probably pretty higher than a lot of localities because they've grown faster. We haven't grown that much. But basically, it is taken the same, it's about $1.3 million, Crystal, I think. And how much would it reduce the tax bill for everybody and be 25% based on the total?
I move that the Board of Supervisors approve the attached resolution to set the Personal Property Tax Relief Act percentage of tax relief from the Commonwealth at 25% for 2026.
Second.
We have a motion properly seconded. Mr. Emmert,
Yes.
is there a question? No? Okay. Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins? Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries. All right, Ms. Puckett.
On page 45 of your board pack, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, we've been talking about a new county animal shelter for a while, and I'd like to introduce and ask Mr. Bob Timmons to come and join me at the lectern. And while he's doing that, I just want to remind the board that that a new animal shelter was the #1 project identified in the 2022-2024 capital improvement plan for the county. Again, for the 2025 through 2027 CIP update, it was again the #1 project. And last year, when the board worked on its 2040 strategic plan, a new animal shelter was specifically mentioned and identified as a priority for the county. We, the staff, have been working since June of 2024, a lot of that driven by, as we've discussed many times, the condition of the current shelter and its inability to meet the state standards. The building has been there since the 1970s, and I'm confident that each of you have had the opportunity to visit, and you know how hard our staff works to try and maintain, as I'm going to say, as well as they possibly can, the walls and the floors to try and meet those state standards. But it is it's an impossible journey for them. And so since 2024, we've been working with a team to try and develop a plan. And we brought Mr. Timmons, we asked Mr. Timmons to join us. As many of you know, Mr. Timmons served on the Board of Supervisors for some years. And during that time, he served as the clerk of the works for projects to include the renovation of the courthouse. I'm going to say he volunteered his time to serve as clerk of the works for the renovation of the courthouse, the construction of the DSS building, and also the renovation of the Yakutak building during his time as a board member. He also served in that volunteer capacity. And all of that due to his extensive 40-year career in construction, with an emphasis, I'm going to say, in value engineering, which he has taught us a lot. So what I'd like to do is ask Bob to give us kind of since you've been on the team, to bring you up to speed of where we are. There's history, there's a set of plans, site plans in the board pack that you've all had a chance to review. And then let Bob kind of give you his impression of the project and where we are. And then we can talk about, maybe options for moving forward.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, it's nice to be here again. It's been a long time since I addressed the board. You guys are new faces, some not so new, but thank you for welcoming me here. About 8 months ago, or maybe 9 months ago now, I was called and asked to participate in this new venture. I met with Lou and I met with Dave, and both of them were upset, and rightfully so. And so with that charge, with meeting, trying to figure out what's going on, I came in and talked with Doug, and we had several meetings, both in person and teleconferences with the architect, trying to understand what the architect was trying to design for us, what uses they were using, just the whole parameters. And I found out real quickly that they were using I'm going to call it a cookie cutter type design approach. It's one that they had used on for another county, and that county was a lot larger than ours, and their staff was a lot larger than ours, and their animal control, the animals that they were dealing with were way more than what we had and what we would use. So first thing, I met with them and understand that parameter. Then I met with animal control staff and talked with them to find out exactly what we needed in the county, just to understand what we needed, not what anybody else needed, but what we needed. How do we manage the stray animals and the ones that we pick up? What do we do with them? How do we manage them? How many do we have? How 5 years from now, what are they projecting? And I got a good idea from that. And then I sat down with Adam and went into more detail, and actually I sat down and drew a set of a floor plan that says, here's what we need. We don't need some of this other stuff. Here's what we need. And then we sent that information over to the veterinarian, and I forget the doctor's name. Excuse me? Dr. French, and got his comments. Well, his comments were valuable, but some of them were not relevant because he was looking at it as a veterinarian office, which is different than what we have, what our facilities are. Anyway, it took a little bit of effort, but through our team, we were able to redirect the architect, get them to take what they had, put it away, forget it, we don't need that. And here, I gave them this drawing and I said, design this. This is what we want. This is what meets our criteria. This not only gives us the facility that we need now, but it also gives us a facility that we can not grow into, but is large enough for growth for the animal control for the next 5, maybe 10 years. In that design, I also included the potential of taking and expanding that without having any additional office space. We just expand the kennels in the back. So we can, this facility will last us 25, 30 years as far as the usage that we have, and possibly longer than that. So that's where we stood with the design concept. Then, where do we put it is the next question. So Doug and Sarah and I, we rode all over this county looking at vacant buildings already built that's large enough that handle what we can do, and just maybe buy that and upfit it. That's what they did down in Burkeville, and it seemed to work out all right, but we couldn't find anything. We did find one building, but when we got to looking at it, we would have to tear the building down to build it back and just buying the property, because it was just a pole barn. Somebody put a temporary floor in the bottom of it, and it wouldn't work for us. So now we started looking at the county-owned properties. And the county-owned properties that we looked at were, first of all, was one that the architect had identified was over there between Faces and Social Security Building, which is that prime lot. It's about 5 or 6 acres there that is prime for an office building or some other type of thing, facility. I was not a fan of, for this facility, for the animal control facility, using that lot. I was not a fan of that at all. So we started looking, and we found the lot next to Five Pillars Meats down with Sekou, and you guys all know where that is. We found a piece right there on the corner that we can use that. It's going to take a little bit of tweaking with some unsuitable soils, but you have that pretty much in any construction site, and to put it there. Now, from there, we looked at it, trying to figure out how can we be a neighbor to Sekou? How can we do that? And I understand that he sent some letters to the county, to the paper, and you guys all got some letters, and I understand his concerns. But we met with him today, and basically he didn't understand what we're doing. What our design is not an outside kennels. They're all inside. They're all conditioned airspace. They're all controlled there. We have soundproofing and insulation that's going to be in the walls and in the ceiling. So I would be surprised if you could hear any noise whatsoever outside of this. We're taking this real serious about being a good neighbor. We took the design and flipped it over so everything that's on the west side is away from his building. It's down by the creek, not on the creek, but it's in that area, in a containment area, so that all that waste and the smells and everything else is away from him. Prevailing wind is from the southwest, and so it blows away. But they clean up every day. We have the dumpsters come picked up on at least a weekly basis. So we're not having to experience any of that. And to the extent that he's got animals there that he's going to be slaughtering, to that extent, then we will make sure that none of our doors or windows are open to allow any noise or anything else to get out to take his animals and get them nervous or whatever else. We're trying to take every precaution we can with that, to be a good neighbor. He also mentioned something about the road. He put the road in, but, we'll work out some sort of a deal with, if we cause damage to the road, we'll the county repair it. I mean, that's just part of just being a neighbor. So the highest, the goal was to use the properties that the county owns as the highest and best usage. The highest and best usage is not an animal control facility up by the Social Security office on that lot. That's a better office area or some other business. The highest and best use for this other lot is generally the same type. You got animals both places, and they're familiar with there. I think tonight we're going to, looking forward, a decision to go forward with the architect with their next round of design, and I'll let Doug speak to that. Any questions you guys may have for me?
Yes. With your conversation with Sekou, was he convinced when you talked to him that this is probably a good idea that it will work for him?
Patty, I'm not going to say he's convinced, but he has a whole lot more information now than he had when he came in here. In addition to that, Doug's offered to take him to the facility I think some of you guys have went to let him see for himself what type of environment it is outside the facility, not necessarily inside, but the noise and everything that he would be concerned about. And I think that's supposed to happen within the next 2 weeks. But he left a meeting today a lot more satisfied than it was when he came in.
And I think we also, I'll just interject, we offered to put in a combination of maybe a berm and additional landscaping, maybe even fencing between the two uses. I think it's important to note we're approximately 100 yards away, the length of a football field between the two. The proposed building with the existing slaughter facility, so they're not right up next to each other. And that's, I think, when I'm going to take them down to Franklin, I think
I think that's the
Ms.
best
Cooper Jones,
facility.
you went there, and
Yes.
Supervisor Townsend went down there. That was a completely indoor shelter. I think, at least being able to see that, I think he'll get a good idea of, how it should operate.
And when they bring a new animal into the animal control center, it goes into a sally port and it's all closed up. And so it's not like it's, dogs running wild. Everything, when they come in a truck and it's closed behind the fence, and they don't go out, they don't get out of the fence. We're talking about Leland cypress on top of the berm to, do more stuff than that.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Appreciate the good work.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
I'll share some of the drafting that they, one of these days, but I do appreciate the opportunity to work with you guys.
Appreciate you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, we would ask the board to consider the recommendations in the sample motion on page 46. As Bob indicated, the next step would be to approve the fee proposal for Mosley to now provide us with construction documents. So it would be that next phase, and then to authorize the issuance of the invitation for bids. That's not the approval of the project, that's just taking it to the steps so that the board actually has real numbers to actually make a decision with construction numbers to determine the future of the project.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Chairman, before we vote on the road issue, because I have been approached about that also, did we come to any?
What I offered in the letter, Supervisor Emmett, today is, it was always contemplated, there's more than one user. We'll have a road maintenance agreement drafted between the two parties to accept responsibility. As we talk today, ours is pretty much the pickup trucks animal control uses and personal vehicles coming. Once a week, you might have a trash truck coming in, but we won't have livestock trailers and heavier vehicles on a regular basis. But we need to pay our fair share of the maintenance. More than likely, it'll be us probably plowing the snow, because we'll have to get in our facility first. But, while our staff's right there at the ag building, that should not be a problem. But we would propose having a road maintenance agreement with them.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded. Supervisor Emmert?
I'm a no.
All right. Supervisor Townsend?
I'm a yes there to put it out for invitation for bid. I'm telling you, we need to resolve this issue with Sekou before I continue to be supportive of this building going there. Okay?
Ms. Cooper Jones?
I'm going to be a yes on the same note as Mr. Townsend, that we're sure that we have resolved his concerns.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
I say no.
Supervisor Gillum?
Yes.
And my vote is no, based off of the estimates that the shelter will continue to reach costs of $5 to $5.5 million. We talk about our needs for revenues. I also believe that we need to keep a tight belt ourselves, and that's a higher price tag than I'm willing to stomach at the moment.
Excuse me, may I ask one other question? Does this price or whatever include the location of the building? Because I would like further study as well.
So the location, the property is owned by the IDA, and the board previously directed staff to request that they transfer that property. Most of the industrial part is in the name of the Board of Supervisors, not the IDA. So we have asked them to transfer at no cost for us, so there's no land cost per se included in the estimate. We would not anticipate having to pay the IDA.
The votes have been cast. The motion carries 5-3. Thank you, Ms. Puckett.
I got a quick question. What was the original thing that we were looking at? What was the cost of that?
10.4.
10.
10.4.
Yeah.
Right quick.
Cut it in half, cut the size in half and cut the price in half.
Yeah.
Do it one more time.
10.4.
You also got, this
as a contingency.
This is way higher per square foot than I'm accustomed to seeing. I think that number is going to be less, fairly substantially less. When we get to this.
That's what we like to hear. All right, at this time, the board welcomes Mr. Trey Pyle.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
Quick, first item on the agenda is just a quick public safety update. Got a lot of projects going on, a lot of things we've been doing the last couple months. Radio system first. I know Doug kind of gets an update from me kind of weekly or, every couple weeks, but just to give you a quick snapshot of where we're at, the shelter and generator at Dominion Tower site has been installed. They've been set on the pads. Work will start with that project on the tower shortly, once we get everything back in for that. The shelter has been set at the Virginia State Police Tower site on Lee Mountain. The generator will be set shortly. And again, tower work, commencing in the next month or so. Construction for the Verizon Tower in the Prospect area, I rode by there today, has not started yet. It's slated to be started any day now. They're anticipating having that tower stacked by the end of the month of August. The last time we had a meeting in June, we have a monthly meeting in July. We have reached a trigger point to where this project will not cut over now until June of 27 next year, just due to some construction timeframe delays and other things that have affected that project. So we'll be working through the wintertime to finalize everything, fine tune it. We can't do coverage testing until the leaves come back on the tree, so it'll be the 1st of May, and then anticipating cutting over in June. That coincidentally will actually work out well for the dispatch center, because that project will probably be wrapping up about the same time for the renovations over there, as they've been delayed a little bit also. Grant opportunities in June of '26, I applied for a PPE grant through AFG, through FEMA, for the fire departments in Prince Edward. Total 70 sets of turnout gear, 12 SCBA bottles, a fit test machine, so we can test all the firefighters, make sure the masks are properly and fitting. That grant total was $464,770. That will be a 5% match by the departments if we're awarded that. Anticipating awards probably to start the end of August through September in the fall season there. They do announcements every week, so just because the first announcement comes out and we don't get it doesn't mean it. We'll have time to build into that. We've been very successful for the last 4 to 5 years on the AFG, and I hope we're successful again this year, as that's a huge chunk of change that will be saved by the departments. That basically sets down to 10 sets of gear per department. So the Fire Service Board study, I know some of y'all came and listened to the public comment period. All the interviews with county staff, all the interviews with the fire rescue departments have been completed. I provided the requested additional information on behalf of the group that they had. The final report and recommendations should be presented by the end of September, 1st of October to y'all. We'll have to schedule a meeting to have them come and actually present the recommendations and report to you. I'd like to mention that I received high remarks from the study group on the openness and the good conversations that were had at each interview by each department. They said they wish they had more time to spend with each one of them. We had slated an hour, and at the end of the hour, they were finding it hard to stop. They just had really good conversations going on. So one last thing to share is the fire response map. We do our due diligence to make sure that the fire departments that are in the area are responding to the area as quickly as possible. The right departments responding, the right backup departments are responding. We took that to the next level. We contracted with a GIS firm to do GPS routing for the entire county. So now the dispatchers on their screen, when there's a fire, they have the closest 6 departments. Now, that may not be all in county. There could be some out of county departments that are closer, but now they have that data available to them. So if the call gets escalated or they need additional manpower, there's not guessing on who to send from what part of the county. It's right there in front of them. That went live the 1st of July, and it seems to be working pretty well so far. I've contracted with that same individual to do some other maps and studies for us to help boost our response in the county. If y'all have any questions about public safety in general, I'll be glad to answer. All right,
Please continue.
My next item on the agenda is a CIP project, the Knox Box program. During the March 2025 Board of Supervisors meeting, the FY 25-27 capital improvement project was adopted. Included among the approved project was the purchase and implementation of a countywide Knox Box program for the Prince Edward County Fire Departments. The project ranked 8th on the adopted CIP and was budgeted at an estimate of $80,000 with implementation planned for 2026. The Knox Box program will expand the existing system currently utilized by Farmville Fire Department into a unified Prince Edward Fire and Rescue System. Once implemented, all fire departments will have the capability to access authorized Knox Box key systems throughout Prince Edward County and the town of Farmville, implementing emergency access while reducing property damage and response times. The primary cost associated with the project is the purchase of apparatus, mounted key securement devices, and the associated Knox Box master keys. A key securement device will be installed on each first due apparatus that may respond to structure fires, automatic fire alarms, or brush fires where access to a Knox Box may be required. Staff has completed the project planning process and obtains pricing for the required equipment. The total cost of the project is $67,280. Attached is the final quote from Knox Box for the key securement device and keys. Attached is that a quote, and staff is recommending the advancement of this project and implementation. The funding is already in the CIP line item that was
Trey,
appropriate.
if you could, for the board and the public, everybody listening, talk about for a second how the Knox Box program speeds up response.
So on any building, and I'll just use a building, let's just use Lowe's, for example. Let's say Lowe's has got a water flow alarm, fire department pulls up and there's water coming out the door. There's no fire active. They don't see anything going on but a pipe bust. With the Knox Box on the side of the building, you can take the key out of the truck, you can open the Knox Box. The Knox Box gives you access to the building. So it gives you the key set to get a master set of keys to get into the building. They can go in there and secure the water off. They don't have to break the door. They don't have to bust windows out to get inside the building, basically force entry in. That program is, like I said, already existing in town. So if the town gets to a call, they can go in there, open that box up, get their set of keys out. They go in, they can explore, they can check and make sure there's no actual fire going on. And it saves from having to force entry into something where they may have to get a locksmith to come in and fix a lock. They may have to get a glass company to come in and replace the glass in the doors, or replace the doors if they're damaged to the point where they need to be replaced. But it's a sense of security for those businesses that they're not going to be closed for the next day because somebody had to force entry in there for a haze in the building or something like that. Knox Box has other programs out there also. There's a residential side to it also. So, you can have elderly people, instead of having a master lock on the side of your house that you're afraid somebody may be able to get into, if somebody wanted to purchase that master box, only fire departments or EMS agencies that have that box can get into it. That's kind of like phase 2 of this project. Maybe later on the road, we can get that into EMS agencies. Currently, we just don't have any in the area that would benefit having those on ambulances right now. The good thing about the Knox Box program is everything is accountable. So when you put the code in the box in your truck to take the key out, you have to put an individual code in that tells me, Mr. Gillum took key out of this truck. It was used on this call. And then it says it goes back in. If you don't put the key back in there in a certain period of time, the key deactivates. It's an electronic key. So if he put it in his gear and forgot about it, well, it's going to deactivate. You can't just go walk around the next night and say, well, I want to go into Lowe's and pick some lumber up. The key doesn't work anymore. It's deactivated. Plus, I can go back and say, Mr. Gillum, you took the key out of the truck. Where's it at? So we can reactivate it and put it back in the truck where it's supposed to be. So there's securement features. Again, this is Farmville's current system they already have. They're going to sign over the system to the county, and then I'll manage the entire system for the entire county for all the fire departments. So it'll be one unified system throughout the county.
Excellent. Thank you. This time we'll entertain a motion.
Quick question. This should save, if it's ever used, Lowe's or whomever, money by not having to fix. Why would these companies not participate in paying for this?
So they have to pay for their portion of it. The box on the building, they have to buy that part of the equipment.
Or no?
Yep.
And the funding was already appropriated for this year.
We have a capital improvement line. It's one of the projects that fits within the budget. Yes, sir.
Okay. I move that the board approve the purchase and implement the Prince Edward Knox Box program.
Second.
Motion second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson? Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
And my vote is yes. The motion carries.
All right. Final item tonight, request from Prince Edward Rescue Squad for RSFA grant assistance. In March of '26, the Prince Edward Volunteer Rescue Squad applied for funding through the Virginia Office EMS for the 2026 Spring Rescue Squad Assistance Fund, RSFA grant. The RSFA grant provides funding to Virginia EMS agencies for ambulances, equipment, and training to enhance patient care. The program is administered on a reimbursement grant requiring either 50%, and I'll make a correction here, it's 30% now. They do a 70-30, not a 80-20. Local match based on the applicant's score. Peavers awarded a 50-50 matching grant on an amount of $73,713.12 for the replacement of outdated and unrepairable emergency medical equipment. The approved project includes the purchase of 2 Zoll cardiac monitors, 2 Lucas CPR devices. The total project cost is $142,488.49, of which $73,713.12 is eligible for reimbursement through the grant. The required local match of $68,775.37 will be funded through the Prince Edward Rescue Squad's allocation of EMS levy funds. Because the RSFA grant is a reimbursement program, Peavers is requesting that Prince Edward County provide the initial funding necessary to purchase the equipment. Upon receipt of the RSFA reimbursement from Office EMS, all grant reimbursement funds will be returned to Prince Edward County. In the event the final reimbursement received from OEMS is less than the awarded amount due to ineligible costs, price adjustments, or any other grant-related documentation, the Prince Edward Volunteer Rescue Squad will reimburse the remaining balance to the county through its allocated EMS levy funds, ensuring the county incurs no additional cost beyond the approved project. This is very similar to what we've done for the fire departments for the last several years. They get a grant, the county funds it, and then the reimbursement goes right back to the county. Basically, it's just not putting them out of capital for the 2 or 3 months it'll take to get all that done. So the budget supplements below, and the recommendation is to proceed.
Move that we approve the request.
Second.
We have a motion with a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson? Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes. The motion carries. Thank you, Trey.
Thank you.
This time, the board welcomes Ms. Stimson.
Good evening, members of the board.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The first item is the updated county credit card and travel reimbursement policies. July 19th of '22, the Board of Supervisors approved an updated county credit card policy and travel reimbursement policy per discussion of best practices with the auditors and general policies and procedures that should be followed for employees using the available credit cards. Attached for your review and approval are updated policies and procedures regarding the responsibilities and guidelines for the use of the credit card issued to select employees. The board may also wish to approve the updated travel reimbursement policy. On the credit card policy, it was basically changing overnight travel arrangements and keeping the credit card out, and also changing the authorized users on the credit card. On the travel policy, it was changing it to the IRS rate for county travel.
What other change you said was?
I'm sorry, for which one?
Overnight.
Overnight, what would you say, overnight? What was-
Overnight travel and having the cards out
Okay, what
during
is it?
overnight travel.
I mean, what are you changing it to?
No, that's what we changed it to. We
Keeping it out
previously-
overnight?
It used to be that you could not keep it out overnight. Now, if you travel, you can keep it out overnight until you
Correct.
return.
Well, if I can interject, Supervisor Emmert, what had happened is sometimes folks would have to use their personal card to cover expenses. And not everybody is able to afford that, but this will give a little bit more flexibility for those folks. It's not a whole lot, but, it does, will help accommodate some of the individuals.
Yes, makes sense.
It's time to entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Supervisor Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins? Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
And my vote is yes, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
The next item is FY '27 school appropriations. Excuse me. The Board of Supervisors has received a request from the Prince Edward County School Board to appropriate federal and state funds for the FY '27 budget year. The first one is the SIG Middle School Grant, and it's a new request for appropriation in FY '27, and it was not included in the school division adopted FY '27 school operating budget. The Board of Supervisors previously approved an appropriation in the amount of $581,479.25 in March of '26, but only $11,589.52 was expended for the Mathematics Innovation Grant during the FY '26 budget year. And neither appropriation requires a local match.
Entertain a motion
So
to
moved.
approve.
Second.
Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries.
And the last item I have for you is another school appropriation. They're asking to appropriate funds totaling $580,000 in state funds to the school operating budget for the SCAP grant that was previously approved by the Board of Supervisors for FY '26. But the school board was unable to use those funds due to the timing and nature of the projects.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion with a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson? Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stimson. County Administrator's Report, Mr. Stanley?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, I first want to give a welcome to Eric Gregory, our new county attorney. Eric was able to come by for a meet and greet back in July, and we were able to have lunch with the chair and vice chair, and able to meet department heads and constitutional officers. We went over the ordinance review committee work to date and prioritized the workload moving forward, and we're excited to be able to work with you, Eric. So thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
And a few other things. Last month, at the annual meeting of the Virginia chapter of the American Planning Association, Prince Edward County received the statewide recognition and was presented the 2026 Old Dominion Award for innovative approaches for our Prince Edward County 2045 Forward Together Comprehensive Plan. The recognition really belongs to the people that showed up at the meetings and helped shape the plan. Our citizens and focus groups gave of their time and shared their ideas about the future they want for Prince Edward County. Also, our Board of Supervisors members, our Planning Commission members, county staff, Longwood University students and faculty, and the Berkeley Group, our consultant, worked incredibly hard to turn that input into a plan that's both ambitious and achievable. I'm proud, again, of the process itself has been recognized for the innovation. So thanks to everybody for a great effort there. A few other things. Prince Edward County Sheriff's Office has completed development of an evacuation plan for the courthouse and staff. That's something that's been in works for a number of years. I want to thank Major Wilmoth for heading up in that effort. Our next step in the process will include training and tabletop exercises for staff to be prepared in the event of an emergency. TACS will be holding a delinquent sale of tax properties tomorrow here at the courthouse at 11 a.m. Our Economic and Tourism Director, Chelsea White, recently completed submittal of the county's 2025 Enterprise Zone Report to DHCD. The report showed 40 zoning permits and 152 building permits within the district. In addition, $177,404.24 in local incentives were given out. I want to thank Chelsea for getting that report together. I have signed off on the proposal for the Berkeley Group, again, who helped us with the comp plan to help us navigate the development of supplemental regulations for the zoning ordinance for data centers. That will include some upfront meetings with the Planning Commission, the IDA Board, public participation as we move through the process. So we will make sure to get the public some information on that as we happen. The process should take about 4 to 6 months. So it's not going to be quick, but we did have our kickoff meeting earlier today, so that will start moving forward. Trey, I want to thank him for our efforts on the Knox Box program. It's been something we've been talking about for the last 3 or 4 years, and it's glad to see that move forward. Landfill operations, Prince Edward County Landfill had a DEQ inspection on August 4th. I'm proud to say there were no findings. I think the only comment the inspector made was there was a few small saplings in a riprap ditch. So thanks to Jeff and his staff at the landfill for doing a great job keeping us straight out there. And I want to thank Supervisor Gillum and Supervisor Townsend. They joined me this morning with the superintendent. Thank you, Chip, for a tour of the elementary school project. As you know, school's open tomorrow. Everybody drive safe. But what a great project. We're not done yet. We finish next spring. But particularly the new entrance, the new, I'll say the pickup and drop-off area should make a substantial improvement to the experience for our parents who are dropping their children off at the facility. So again, thanks. If anybody else would like to have a tour, please reach out. We'll go 2 at a time. And Chip said he will based on his schedule, will make time available. I know some of the rest of you might want to go out, so just let me know and we'll coordinate that with Chip. Thank you very much.
May I just make a comment to Dr. Jones? I went to open house last night. Now, I was in the school system 35-plus years as teacher, principals, middle and high. I have never in those 35-plus years seen an open house that huge. I mean, middle school, I couldn't even get to the elementary school because I wanted to visit the 3 schools. I tried to get in classes at the middle school. Not only was there a long line, but the class was full of parents and students. But it was such a sight to see. Thank you for that opportunity. A lot of people. It was great, yes. Thank you.
All right, at this time, the board will welcome Mr. Eric Gregory for our county attorney's report. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for allowing me to be here. I will take a photo if you like, or I can just deliver it.
Probably better for the sound of people that may be online there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, county staff, and citizens of Prince Edward County and Farmville. My name is Eric Gregory. I'm with the law firm of Hefty, Wiley & Gore in Richmond. We were delighted and honored to be selected as your county attorney. It's my pleasure to be here with you all tonight. Look forward to being with you at your meetings going forward and to be at your service. I've already, as Mr. Stanley mentioned, already met with him, Ms. Puckett, and a couple of your board members and a number of your county staff on various issues, and look forward to working with each and every one of you and with your staff to achieve your policy goals, and here to serve. So if we can help you in any way, please let us know. Feel free to reach out. Mr. Stanley has my contact information. I'm be happy to provide it to you. You can call me or email me or even text me if you have questions. And look forward to working with you all and doing all I can for Prince Edward County. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you.
Before we let Mr. Gregory off the stand? No. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that concludes the action items on this evening's agenda. Barring any other supervisors' comments, questions, or concerns, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Is there material about the drought in the back? I'm sorry. The drought material.
Is it informational? Yeah. Supervisor Emmer?
Thank you.
Our math and those math, 8 gallons of $2, not $8, it'd be 16.
There you go. On the cannery report, Sarah. The cannery report.
For 8 gallons at $2 a gallon, not $8 and
Be 16.
Some things never, death, taxes, and Dave. Thank you, Joe.
We'll be hosting the, Community Day, September the 5th. Everyone's invited. If you have time, come out. It started about 11 to about 4 p.m.
Gotta
And-
tell them where.
Versal Recreation Center. That's on on Versal Road, okay?
Jerry, how about the repairs out there?
Look great.
Did they?
Look great, and thanks to Randy and his team. Want to thank them. They really done an outstanding job. Had contractors come in, and we just began. Okay, we have a ways to go, but it looked really good. Get a chance to come through there and stop by and fellowship with us on the 5th.
All right. Thank you, sir. Entertain a motion to adjourn at this time.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson? Mr. Jenkins? Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.